So overall impression, this game
Yes.
is incredibly more in-depth and more complex and more rewarding than I ever would have expected any side scroller to be. I've had not a super extensive past with side scrollers, and it's certainly not that I don't like them. I have the few that I played gave me the impression, okay, a side scroller can only be so good, can only offer so much. In this game, on pretty much every front possible, has shattered those expectations. And my biggest takeaway from all of this is just, if you haven't played Castlevania, give it a shot, regardless of your experience with side scrollers, regardless of your experience with other games that you think might be similar.
Yes.
And regardless of whether or not you think you like or don't like older games based on graphics, based on whatever, this game is absolutely incredible. It's a masterpiece in every sense of the word. And if you enjoy games and if you don't enjoy games, either way, you owe it to yourself to give it a shot because this game is incredible.
It really is.
That's probably my biggest takeaway overall is,
Yeah.
play it or just don't ever play a game ever again for the rest of your life.
Well, that is an option.
Yeah.
That is an option for you. Any kind of specifics? Well, no. I mean, that's more likes and dislikes, I guess, and then we'll talk highlights and stuff like that from there.
Sure.
My general impressions on this game. It is a game that I played a couple years after the initial release of them. Let me see. Hold on. Something just happened here. I just fought a boss. My apologies to everyone.
And some of the best music. I know we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Some of the best music. Oh man.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So yeah, I played this as a budding teenager. I loved it. I'd played Castlevania games before. So I played Castlevania initially on NES, the very first one. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it wasn't something that really stood out to me as something amazing. It was a really fun side scroller for NES that was brutally difficult for me at the age that I actually played. I played it pretty early on. I like Mario and other games like Sonic and stuff like that. More on that at a different episode. But and I played after that, and I didn't play Castlevania 2 and 3 until only a few years ago when I was an adult. So I hadn't experienced that yet. I did play Castlevania or Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo. I never owned it, but I played it at a cousin's house, like many of my games, many of my gaming experiences. And I enjoyed it. Again, same experience as I had with Castlevania 1 for NES, which was really fun game, but nothing that really blew my mind. And obviously the difficulty was a barrier because Castlevania 4 is not necessarily an easy game. And then, years passed and, PlayStation came out and this, that, and the other. And my cousin, he got this game and he came to me, hey, dude, I have this game. Like, you really need to play it. So, yeah, what is it? Castlevania again? I was like, yeah, I'm not really, I'll play it, I guess. And he said, no, you don't understand. Like, you need to play this game. And I said, all right. And he finally, he let me borrow it. And I was hooked. It was immediate. Mm-hmm. It was an immediate thing. I have no other way of really describing it other than it being an immediate, oh my God, this game is amazing. Where has it been all my life type of situation. And throughout the years, I've been playing it over and over again and sharing it with as many people as I come across. And that's where we're at today. Okay, before I start gushing too much here, let's get to like just standard dislikes, likes and dislikes, and go from there. So I'll have you start first since you are the newcomer to this game.
I am.
I've been playing this game for years. So I'm just gonna sit here and gush over it, whereas I'm much more interested or was much more interested in your take on this game with it being as being new to you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, I'm really glad you can't see me because I just died to some really easy mobs.
Well, somebody's gonna see you if
I
you're
wasn't
recording that.
watching my health. Yeah, it's embarrassing. So, so something to pause real quick so I can go through. Likes. A plethora of likes, right? But I like that it's fast paced. It's got such good pacing throughout the game. It slows down a couple points, but it's not even still at its slowest point, quote unquote, during like cutscenes and things like that. It still keeps a good pace. The dialogue between people is funny. It drives the story, but it's still very like it's got that style, that Castlevania, that kind of 90s like bad translation style that
No, absolutely.
that honestly is I think brings a lot of character to a game, as if the game doesn't have enough character on its own.
Right.
But it keeps such a good pace with the combat. Not only the number of encounters, but the types of encounters, the way that combat is structured overall, and I'll get to that too in a second. Just overall keeps a great pace throughout the game. Always keeps you going and keeps you wanting to explore. I like that there's no tutorial. There's very minimal like intro video dialogue, and very there's pretty much non-existent hand holding. Really, I mean, they give you a little bit of a kind of push through the door, and then they let you go. And I wrote in my notes that the difficulty is great. It's thrown to the wolves, done the right way. They really do a good job of again, of setting you off, and just letting you go and kind of explore on your own. You're probably going to die many times. But every time that you die, you can still take that experience, even if you lose some progress. Like you've still learned some new mechanics, you've met some new monsters, you found some new ways to overcome battles. Oh man, you find out how to duck. That's a big one. I like that the leveling is simple and straightforward. It's not some super complex system. Mass Effect, which I love and is one of my top 10, most impactful games that we talked about. We'll play it at some point. Man, just rolling a new character. Oh, I got to use my library card. Yes. Is what? Oh, did I just press something? Something happened. In Mass Effect, if you want to play, if you want to make an educated decision on what class to play, you're reading a lot of text. You're learning a lot of mechanics. Between the different types of weapons, and kind of the just different ways that you can approach combat. It's a lot to go through and a lot to chew on. And I got to the point where I was reading. I just looked it up online. And I was like, which one? And I ended up just guessing too. And I guessed pretty well. I went with Paragon, and that was great. But anyway, not to go into that. Yeah. But I like that. At least in Castlevania, there is a leveling system. You do get stronger, but it's very straightforward. Those are my biggest. Oh, the last thing, this is the most important one, that it's mechanical. It is so extremely structured. Every monster type has a set of moves and a set of attacks, and that's what they do. And so this game is all about learning. It's you learn. And so it can be very, very challenging, but it's not unfair. It's one of the most fair games that I've played. Right up there along with Dark Souls, that kind of mentality of it's very difficult, but it's not it's not just game developers tweaking the numbers to make it borderline impossible just because they can and because they think, oh haha, we can kill you off. It's very, very learn the patterns, learn the structure to the game, and that's how you can end up progressing. They do such an incredibly masterful job of that. It's huge. You can't say enough about it. So.
No, I 100% agree. The game is it's definitely tough but fair.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of those games where you need to be paying attention. You need to. You can't just sit around and just kind of walk away from the game or be in the midst of watching a video or something while you do it. I mean, I'm sure that
doing
you could.
Podcast.
Yeah, doing a podcast the way that we're doing right now.
It's tough.
I'm sure that you could, but you would quickly regret it because you will get killed. Yeah, you got to really kind of just pay attention and give the game its due respect. But yeah, I like that about it. So
definitely
it's stern but fair.
Yeah,
stern but fair. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So those are my likes. Those are my biggest. I mean, is almost unlimited likes, but those. Oh,
Right.
what, sir? Stabbing through the ground. Okay. Anyway, so what about you?
I have some. I'm just gonna try not to gush as much as I did last time, but I'm gonna point out a lot of the things that I pointed out last time in take 0 that'll never be heard. But there are some things that I wanted to add to them. First things first, the variety of the mobs that you're attacking is something that I'm really, really fond of. So much so, just mostly the variety in kind of the mythologies that they take from and stuff like that. Like the game has I don't know how to describe it. It's like a strange. There is okay. The story is simple, guys. Like, you're storming Dracula's castle. Like, you don't really need more than that, right? But there is, with the enemies that you face, like, not only are you taking it from classic horror tropes, werewolves and skeletons and all those wonderful things, right? But we've got some Greek mythology in there. You've got some Judeo-Christian stuff in there. You've got some from a bunch of other religions in there. It's taking a lot of these classical archetypes and really kind of making them somehow work. Like, you wouldn't think that the same game where you're slicing up a merman, would have, Egyptian ankhs of life and, zombies and, chapels and stuff like that. But hey, it works, man. It really does work, and it's fun, and I love it. So that's one thing. To that same point, the way that sorry, I didn't want to cough in the mic too bad there. And I still did anyway.
We'll edit. That's what editing's for.
Edit.
Can see your face.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so to that same point, the way that the game cleverly escalates using similar mobs. So you have a perfect example of this is you have seen the not the axe lords, but the sword lords that are around.
Yeah.
Basically giant knights with swords that you attack and you take care of those. You dispatch of those enemies. As you go on, you see tougher versions of them till eventually what you get to. Spoiler alert.
This whole thing's a spoiler alert.
The whole thing is a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you got this, if you're listening to this, like, come on, give us a break, guys. It's 20 years old. Like, let's get it together. Anyway, spoiler alert. So there is a sword lord so you kill him as you would regularly. You slice him to bits, and what happens is he goes into his normal death pose, and he dies. But what happens is that you see that his broken sword stays there. So then basically a poltergeist inside of the armor takes over the sword. And you're still fighting it, which is a really clever way of using the same sprite and just kind of escalating the difficulty a little bit. And not only that, I mean, you start off the game, and this is kind of what you were talking about, how the game gives you all the tools necessary to kind of play.
Yeah.
So you start off kind of not invincible, but pretty dang strong compared to the monsters that you initially find. You eventually run into the Reaper, Death, who takes away all of your really cool weapons and items, and you become at that point a scrub lord, as I put it yesterday, and I'm putting it today again, where you get all your stuff taken away and you're really weak, and you already know the basics of how to play the game, but at this point all of your power has been taken away, so you have to rebuild and reestablish your dominance over the forces of evil. But yeah, I mean, it's so good. The game is so good when it comes to just giving you the tools that you need, being fair but staying tough, and that's something that I really enjoy about it. Wow, that was only one topic, and I went like 5 minutes on that. Yeah, lots of gushing.
I just realized you can cast spells. How did I not know this?
You don't. The game doesn't teach you. We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Okay, so I've got to go up, down, and then
Yeah, it doesn't. The game doesn't teach you that, unfortunately. That's one of the things that to critique it on. But yeah, another thing that I really like and I think is super super awesome. The save rooms in this game. Just the general animation of them. There are problems with the save room, but in general, the save rooms are really cool. So you walk into them and you get like a 3D image. In a 2D game, you get a 3D image of like a beating vampire heart, and which is strange because vampires are undead, but that's a whole nother thing altogether.
It's got to be Alucard's in, no?
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I mean, that's what I assume.
He's half human.
He's half human. Yeah. Correct. So, I mean, that was my assumption as well. But I don't want to just say that.
Well, I'll say it, Jay.
There you go. You heard
on?
it here. You know who to crucify, internet. if what we're saying is wrong.
The new guy.
Yeah, the new guy. Anyway, yeah, I really like that a lot. You turn into from Alucard's beating heart, you go into its coffin, or his coffin, where a vampire would rest and regenerate, if you will. So, I think that's really awesome.
I can't even kill these guys.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. It's probably just tough. We've already kind of gone over the game is tough but fair type of model. Mm-hmm. Which I really enjoy in games in general, where you don't get your hand held. Gaming over the last few years have really suffered because of that. Enter any kind of modern first-person shooter or any kind of game, modern adventure game that really hold your hand.
I died again, Jay.
You died again?
Yeah. Hey, the frogs. Man. I can't reach them. I can't hit them. Oh, do I have to go wolf?
The frogs, you can. But
I want to kill everything.
You don't have to.
So, what are your dislikes?
Hold on. I'm not done with my likes.
No, I want to finish this so I don't have to play this game anymore because I keep dying.
One more like. Where am I? Yes. Exploration is very heavily rewarded in this game.
Apparently not. Rewarded. Apparently not.
Yeah. It is rewarded.
I was in all new area. Literally, it was totally new area, and the frogs kill me. Alucard is half vampire, and a frog killed me.
You need to pay attention.
Oh, man.
Pay better attention. Yes. So exploration is highly rewarded in this game. You get lots of...
Don't listen to him. He's lying.
You get lots of really cool powers. The very good example of that is... when you reach the outer wall and you finally scale the top and you dig a little deeper and you eventually unlock the elevator on the outer wall and you get the power. You gain the power of wolf, where you turn into a wolf and you get really cool like speed and charging and really cool stuff like that. It's rewarded. Damn it! Just because you died doesn't make it not true. Yeah,
the frogs. I'm half vampire. And a frog can kill me.
Hey man, what do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you?
Their tongues are impossible. Okay. Anyway.
So that's it for my likes.
You want to know my dislike? Exploration is punished. That's my dislike. No, I'm kidding.
No.
So I do have some serious dislikes. Not terrible. Obviously not. This is still one of my new probably top 5, if not top 10 favorite games of all time. Out of the bit that I've played, it's already placed that high. I really like that. Menus are terrible.
Yes.
So the main menu gives you stupid options in a horrible font you can barely read. It's file select, file something, name change, and something really bizarre.
It's super. Yes, it was in the 90s during really bad, during the start of the interface stuff, but there's only so much excuses you can give with that. Even the better games of that era, Kart 60, Mario 64 and a bunch of others had really bad filing systems. It could have been done better, guys. We could have done better. Things have progressed since then, slowly for sure, but things have progressed since then.
Oh man, just terrible. And then the in-game menu.
Oh god.
The in-game menu is really okay. So look at it. So I'm gonna pull it up here. Okay.
Yes.
Really bizarre.
It
really
is.
weird. So it's laid out almost the entire screen is like fair game for text, just all over everywhere. Okay. So and of course they don't explain any of this to you. You can go to your equipment.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to learn that to equip an item, you select that slot from this list.
Yes.
And then you can pick. And tying into that, using a potion is like the most backwards and horrible system I can possibly. I don't think you can make it more like obtrusive. Yeah. In that you have to equip a potion to one of your hands. You have to back out of the menu, use that item, go back into the menu to re-equip your item, and then go back out. Just really bizarre. And again, none of this stuff they really explain, so that all factors into the number of times you're going to die before you get anywhere worthwhile. Oh, I'm about to eat it again.
Please do not die.
It's the same spot. It's these frogs.
Dudes, forget the frogs. Jump past the frogs.
I'm trying. That's what I'm trying. Look, I died again.
Oh my god, dude.
I quit. It's the same spot. The same frogs.
No.
Number 2, the frogs. No. Why?
Oh my god.
Oh, no. Number 2, there's no direction on where to go, what to do, or immediate goals. Yes. So it's just.
that is a.
No
That's a design choice. That's a design choice.
Don't defend it.
That works in some games. It does not work in this game, unfortunately. It is a problem.
Literally nothing. So you first load into the game, and you do this. What you don't realize if you didn't play the past games, if you play the past games, you come in at an advantage. But as somebody who had never played the past games, hugely awkward and just bizarre. You had no direction, don't know where to go, don't know what I'm doing, don't know why I'm fighting this guy, or why I'm like one-shotting people for the first few minutes, and then death can just take everything away, and then I'm not. So not totally sure of all that stuff. So that was kind of weird. Don't even know where I'm going. They don't tell you that there's a map, so I later find out that there's a map. The map doesn't point you anywhere. It just shows a map. So it's very weird trying to figure out what's going on. So that's a big issue there. And tying into that, my final dislike. Oh, what is this? Skilla-worm?
Oh, that's a boss.
Yeah, it's a boss.
Be careful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad you.
Aim. Okay, so stay far away first. Kill the snake heads and then approach the female in the middle. So kill the heads first.
There's only one head.
Oh, okay. You're not there yet. Never mind. I spoiled something. Spoiler alert.
Well, no. I mean, I can't even get past the frog, so don't worry. I'm not even gonna play that long. Oh, I killed one guy. I killed him. Okay. So then so tying into the last one, we're gonna have to edit that because that was just horrible.
Heal up, please, before you keep going further.
I don't have
please
any.
Heal up before you keep going.
I don't have any.
Don't head to your left then. When you go up in that direction, do not head to your left. Head to your right. I think that's correct.
So I can swim.
Yes.
Can't
Did you get the holy symbol?
Don't talk to me right now.
Oh God, please don't die. Don't die.
Okay, no, I'm okay.
Did you get a save point?
No, not yet.
Don't head to your left.
Speaking of save points, speaking of save points, hang on. That's my point. Is that they don't explain save points from the start of the game. Okay, so I started a new character probably 5 or 6 times because I would make a new character. I do this whole intro sequence of fighting the guy, moving on, being strong, getting de-leveled, whatever, and then going in and then just dying. And like so many games, even games from that time period, would autosave. Right? Spyro has autosave. Just to draw the parallel, like, so a game as good as Castlevania, they don't explain that you need to go to a save room, and they don't point you towards even the first save room. And I feel like that's something that if they at least autosave after you get started, that would be fine. If they started you off in a save room, that would be fine. So many ways to do that better than to not give you anything, and then if you die, have to redo the entire start of the game over again. Oh, that was horrible.
Listen, I agree.
Those are my dislikes. I make them sound really, really bad. They're frustrating for the first several times, but once you get used to them, they become non-issues.
So they are frustrating points right now. I'm not defending them. I'm just
You sound like
putting
you're
things
defending
into.
them.
I'm not defending them. Putting them in context. We are both aware. More myself than
Oh man, well, I see what
than
you're talking
Zach,
about.
simply because of
Third time dying. I had no problem on our fictional first time through.
yes,
I
you did well.
I found all the
You
Hydra
did very
heads.
well.
I found the Hydra heads though.
Yes, please. Did you heal before doing that?
I was
Going
at,
in there.
I think I was at max health. I don't know. I don't have any potions.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Anyway, just stay back and aim for those heads, and then once you kill the heads, go in closer. Anyway, we are aware that at the time, this is when games came out with actual manuals, decently thick manuals, and a lot of this information was in said manuals. However, as much as I'm a big fan of having a manual with your game, like getting a book with really cool artwork and a little introduction and some instructions, something like that, it is undoubtedly a better process with having games that teach you everything you need to know within the game. I'm not delusional in my nostalgia that I will not, admit that. Yes, in game, the game should be intuitive, and there are ways to design a game that's intuitive enough that it teaches you everything you need to know within the start of a game. This game does a really good job with combat, with the basics of combat, but with other things such as saving and basic game mechanics, not so much. So yeah, that needs to be addressed. So there's that. My dislikes, and they will obviously be a little bit less than Zach because this is one of my favorite games ever. But again, there are issues. I'm not one to be blinded by my nostalgia. To your point about the in-game menu, the amount of items in this game and the way that the game does not tell you what the items do. Some of the items have descriptions, but some of them are so vague. Like, here's a perfect example. Let's see. Right now, I have a.
Dude, I'm fighting him.
I believe. All you must do is believe. Okay, so right now I have the blood cloak on, or the crystal cloak on, which is an enchanti semi-invisible. No, actually, no, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to do even better example. Right now, I currently have the Ice Brand sword on, right? The Ice Brand sword is just a regular sword that has a really cool blue effect when you hit it. What it doesn't teach you, or has no description of it whatsoever, is that if you do a certain movement, which I believe is a half circle forward, or a Ryu blade kick, as I like to call it, because I'm a big Street Fighter player. If you do that movement, it becomes like a charge slash with higher damage. It does not indicate in any sort of way that this sword has that power. So you could go literally playing this the entirety of the game. Let's say you really like the effect that the Ice Brand has and the color, and you decided to use it through the entirety of the game. You could, in effect, go the entirety of this game without knowing that, unless you accidentally, perform that movement on your controller. It's a problem. Games need to be a bit more intuitive than that. Yeah, there's no excuse for that. Please don't tell me you died.
No.
Please
I'm doing. I think I'm doing really well, and I don't want to say that.
Okay. Keep going.
The stupid bubbles get me every time, though.
Yeah, they really suck. Doing a shield during that helps a lot. Having your shield up. If you don't have one equipped, you should.
It still hit me for 13. Oh, I'm close. I think I killed all the heads, but dude, it's. Oh, I'm not even wearing my best armor either. Shoot.
Oh, you suck. Come on.
Doing all of this. Wait. Oh, see, I don't have any potions.
You have food heals you.
I know. I already used it.
All your food? Elixirs heal you too.
Wait. I have resist thunder and uncurse.
No, I don't think those will help you in this situation.
They're not gonna help me. I've got 17 health left. Oh, and the ceiling's falling on me.
Oh no! You're so. If that's happening, that means you're close. Just dodge.
Oh, I have one health. And the door is closed behind me. I have 1 health. I'm not gonna make it. There's no way.
You don't have anything? You gotta have something.
I did it.
Oh no!
I did it. I've got 4 health now, but I swear I had 1 health.
What a great what a great moment.
No,
Tell me that's not a great feeling.
No, I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna wait until I find a save room, and then I'll let you know if it was a great moment.
Well, you have 4 health now because
that's true. I leveled up. Yeah,
HP increase. Okay, yeah.
Oh, there's something in the crystal cloak.
Nice.
I don't know what that is, but
yes, no, that's good. I love wearing that. That's one of my favorite things to wear.
It's got better.
It also has a better defense than what you probably have on.
Oh, I look cool.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that was fun or something. It was an encounter.
Something happened.
Something definitely happened. Went back at full health though. That's great. Anyway.
Oh, that was good. That was really good.
Are we done? Can you stop making me go through this torture?
No.
I found a scimitar.
Okay, so we've gone through the dislikes, right? We've gone through the dislikes.
Scimitar is way better, dude.
Yes. There should also be an ice brand around where you're at too.
Well, if I knew what that was.
It's a sword. Anyway, just a couple of highlights, and I pointed this one out to you yesterday, and you didn't notice it until I said it, and then it kind of blew your mind when I said it before. The game sneaks in very kind of interesting ways, or new things in, not new things, but like ways of like adding depth to the game. So in the marble gallery, when you're walking through the marble gallery, there are some instances of like an eye looking at you through the window.
Oh yeah. That was really weird.
Yeah,
like in a good way, but creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah, but it adds to the effect of the game, so it adds to the scale, and I'm really a big fan of that. You'll notice that with a lot of the games that I've picked in this series, scale is a big thing. How much immersion can you make me feel? How big does the game feel, even if it's really not that big in reality? Those are big things with me. Another thing, music. Oh my God, the music in this game, it's so good.
It really is.
It's really, really good. From place to place, it's varied enough where it's always interesting. The sound effects are great. It's something I wanted to point out that I didn't point out in the first recording, and this game uses sprites from older games. Now it cleans them up a little bit, but a lot of the enemies in this game were used in Rondo of Blood and Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4, and a couple of other Castlevania games. So the sprites are being reused, but they're so crisp and they're used so well that you don't really notice, unless you've obviously played those games before. But it's a really, really good way of reusing assets. Just on a design standpoint of reusing assets and making them seem fresh. Obviously, only someone who has played the old Castlevanias would really notice that. But whatever, I can point it out. Screw you. Screw you, internet. No, please, don't screw you. Please listen to this podcast.
Still haven't found a save point. Just want to say
there is one there. There is one there.
No, I'm going way back.
There's one in the ice caves. I promise you that.
Well, I didn't see it. I'm not trusting it. Hey. Oh, there's a guy there.
Stay alive.
No, I got this. Yeah, I got this. Okay, I'm saving. Okay, good.
Okay.
We're going to have to edit out tons of this. We just got tons of blank space.
Yeah, that's fine.
And me looking like I'm having issues in the bathroom. Playing this game.
What else? What else did I want to point out? One more thing. The kind of humor in the game. So, like in the ice caves where you're at right now, I'm sure you've noticed that when you go into the water, you kind of get hurt a bit.
Yeah,
Um,
a bit.
um, the relic that allows that to stop happening is called the holy symbol, and it's actually just a snorkel. I just think it's really funny.
Yeah.
The game has little small pieces of humor throughout. That you're eating. I mean, you're eating chicken and pork chops that you find inside of walls. Like, come on. Like, yeah, that's a Castlevania trope, but it's funny. It works. So it's really awesome. Yeah, I mean, listen, I can gush about this game forever, and I'm gonna try not to. To be fair to Zach's suffering.
Oh man, I gotta move on.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. This game is great. I'm gonna come back to this long after we stop talking about it.
Yeah.
If ever.
If we ever stop talking about it.
Dude, that game is it's incredibly good. Incredibly well done. Like from top to bottom, left to right. Yeah. Masterpiece. Except these stupid frogs. But I didn't die. But man, that is just obnoxious. Maybe if I had like a better secondary weapon.
I mean, you may be handling them wrong. I mean, I usually just walk up to them and then slash in the diagonal.
You usually these guys are like dancing. That's awesome. What are they doing? That was great. There's like 4 guys underwater. They stick their spears up. They dance, and the water rises and kills them. Just a completely unnecessary side thing. Terrific. Love it. Yeah, this game is awesome. So somebody who hasn't played this game, why should they go back and play it? Why is it worth somebody in 2016 going on 2017? Why is it worth it to them to go play?
I think other than it being a really, really, really good game, okay. God, I forgot what I said about this last time.
No. Off the cuff.
Off the cuff. Why is it important?
Yeah, like why should somebody play it?
I mean, it's a really good game, guys. Like, I mean, it's a really, really great game. Are you a fan of?
So is League of Legends. So is World of Warcraft, Jay.
Well, I don't feel that way about League of Legends.
No, I don't either. But
you can hate me. You can hate me. Here it comes.
Wait, did I find it? I'm walking against the tide. Oh,
don't die.
Oh, pentagram. That was anticlimactic. What is this? Damages all enemies. Oh, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably like an AoE. I think it's an AoE thing.
Yeah.
If you want to, are you a fan of horror? Are you a fan of horror tropes in general? Are you a fan of really fun side scrollers? Are you a fan of games that allow you to? Are you a fan of RPGs but don't have the time to really go into a deep RPG? This is a game for you. Are you looking for a challenge?
Oh.
This is a game for you. Are you looking for? I don't know. I mean, why is it important? Because it's a staple. Okay, here's a good read. Here's why it's important. It's important to play this game because Konami has been messing up here as of late. They've raped Metal Gear Solid. They've stopped, making good games. They've turned into a corporate beast, if you will. And I think it's easy to forget that Konami and their developers are responsible for a lot of the best games that have ever been made or have been made so far. And this is an example of that. So, yeah, they really screwed over Hideo Kojima. Yeah, they raped, Metal Gear. Yeah, they're like focusing on pachinko machines and, casino stuff now instead of focusing on video games after 20, 30 years. But for a time in history, those guys knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They were doing a really good job, and they gave the right funding and tools to the correct people. and we as gamers, as the general public, got to enjoy that. And this is a perfect example of that. So go play this game. It's great. Do it.
I'm at the ferryman. What does the ferryman do?
Get on the ferryman.
I'm on.
Get on his
I'm
boat.
on it.
Get on the ferryman's boat.
He's
He
creepy.
will take you across. Do not fall into the water, or obviously you will die. Be careful with the bats hanging from the ceiling that will knock you off the boat, where you will die.
Oh.
Like just now. I hope that's not what just happened.
No.
I hope I didn't describe what just happened.
No. We just went over a. Oh, this is crazy. Ugh. Yeah. No, we went over a rapid.
Yeah.
Jump down. That's incorrect English for the record. We didn't go over a rapid. We went over a fall.
One of those things.
Merman statue. I got a merman statue.
I forget what that does.
I will tell you, it's a relic. I got a fairy scroll, displays enemy's name, summons the oarsman. Oh, I guess I can summon him whenever can open locked blue doors. Cool. Yeah, no, I totally agree with all of that. Like, it's so good for so many reasons, and I think it is a completely valid. It is valid to use this as a metric or as a bar to compare other games, not only side scrollers, but other RPGs and just other games in general, to compare it to this, because this does so many different mechanics so well, between difficulty, between pace, between again, just music. I mean, artwork being cohesively, aesthetically, being cohesive aesthetically. They just do so many things right that I think it's, even if you're not comparing it to another RPG, it's a super valid comparison to use, and you owe it to yourself to give this game a shot.
No, you're gonna edit that out, aren't you?
What?
Your deaths.
No, they're staying. Everybody is perfectly entitled to know I'm terrible.